What up, everybody? It's the Rottweiler Patriots. I'm Vegas.
And I'm T-Bone.
And welcome to another video where today we have a request for you all. We would like you to send us your dogs. We're going to submit in the pinned comment on this video a Google form where you can submit a photo of your dog and tell us about the dog, and tell us maybe a really cool story about it or whatever else. But we want you to send us your dogs. Starting this season, this 2024 NFL season, at the end of every Power Rankings video every week, we are going to be doing a Dog of the Week. Like a little Puppy of the Week thing, where we take our favorite puppy that we got submitted that week, or if we didn't get any submitted that week, maybe from previous weeks, and we're gonna, show it off, show the photos of the dog, tell its story, and it's gonna be a fun little thing. And we are gonna favor Rottweilers because we are the Rottweiler Patriots. So if you've got Rotties, please send them to us. We would love these photos of your Rotties, and we would love to share them with everyone else here. I think this is gonna be a really, really cool thing. And if you do send in a Rottweiler, it's possible that they may be featured as a character on the channel going forwards. So a real-life human might adopt the name of your dog and be that dog in future events. So if you want to see your Rottweiler featured as a character on this channel, submit a form with photo with a cool story. And yeah, so we're going to feature your dogs on this channel. Form will be in the pinned comment on this video, and we'll also pin the form on every Power Rankings video, and be sure to remind you at the end of each video to check that out. Submit your Rottweilers or other dogs. If we don't get any Rotties, your dog might be featured. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing, and we're super duper excited about it. We're hoping it'll be a fun community building thing, and chance for y'all to make your way onto this channel in some way, form, or fashion. If you send a photo of yourself in it and you don't want yourself to be shown on the channel, you can request that your face get blotted out. We'll probably blot out faces just as a matter of policy to begin with. If you want your face to be shown, let us know. Be sure to include like what information you do and don't want shared. And if you don't specify in the form, then we're going to assume you don't want your information shared and block up your face. We do want the focus to be on the puppies. We love the puppies. We want to see your dogs, and we want to share your dogs with everybody else. So that's what we're going to be doing. Power Rankings, end of every Power Rankings video starting this fall, and we'll see if we're able to continue it into the off season. I know our content's a little less focused in the off season, and it's going to be more, Mario Sports video game related. But with that being said, since we want you to share us your puppies, we thought, why don't we share you ours? Or really more specifically T-Bone's, because T-Bone's family is the one who has all the Rottweilers, and all the Rotties from that family is the inspiration for this channel. So we're going to let T-Bone take over and talk about all the dogs that his family have had.
Thank you so much. Well, I guess let's get into it. Firstly, I think we should probably talk about, the two main guys, the two dudes on the front, the guys that started it all. T-Bone on the right, or T-Bone on the left. I am so ashamed that I did not get that right. You know what? No, everyone's a bad owner sometimes. T-Bone on the left, Vegas on the right.
To be fair, this is the image we used for these two dogs in all of the channel stuff, and I flipped over the order, and I did resize T-Bone a little bit, just so the focus would be better and both their heads would be kind of moving towards the middle. So, in the photo you saw previously, they actually are swapped, so I won't hold you that over your head too much. But these also are the dogs that you live with that are probably in your room with you right now. I can't actually say that, but...
Vegas would be if it wasn't a little bit later. So if it was a little bit earlier, Vegas would be in here. But I actually do prefer how you've done the graphic, how you moved around Vegas and T-Bone and resized them. I think that's actually probably I prefer that a little bit more. I guess maybe I'm more used to that now, but
You're more used to it, but I also did frame it very intentionally like that because I thought it looked better. It put the focus of them towards the center of the screen and not towards the outside of the screen like they are here. And I've seen that photo so many times working with stuff that this is starting to look like a Photoshop to me, if I'm being completely honest.
Right?
It feels a little like a Photoshop, you know. I think that's a funny little thing, but yeah.
So I always try and get them to sit and look pretty for a photo. I try and get as many photos as I can. I'm a little bit lazy about it now, but I should probably start doing it again. So basically, just a real quick what we do, what our family does. We have probably a middle-aged Rottweiler, you would say, 5 or 6. He gets a puppy. We always get guys. He gets a puppy. All right. He raises it. We raise it. It teaches him responsibility. And then the old one dies, and by the time the old one dies, the new one, the puppy, is probably middle-aged, so he gets a puppy. But since T-Bone has been so long-lived, the families come together and decided last year that it's, we're not going to let Vegas wait. We're not going to make him wait. That's not fair to him. We're not going to sit and wait for T-Bone to die. So we made the choice to bring 3 Rottweilers into the house. So you've got T-Bone, we got Vegas, and then we brought Shadow in. So Shadow is Vegas's. You obviously got Vegas in the field. All right, there's another one. You got T-Bone there too. We're trying to get some outside photos. And here is probably my favorite photo. It's a little bit grainy, but I love it. I love it because it's so hard. I don't think you guys understand how maybe you do. It is so difficult to get 3 ADHD dogs that aren't neutered to sit still together for more than a second. They're always doing something. They always got something they want to do. And I love them for them. It's my favorite dog breed, but it's so difficult. So getting this, even if there is a ball in the middle, getting this was a real treat. So you got T-Bone on the left, Vegas in the middle, and Shadow on the right. And so T-Bone, I think, is about 12 and a few months there. Vegas is about 6, and Shadow is a little under a year old in that photo. So yeah, but getting them to sit, that really, I don't give a crap if Vegas is the one smiling or not. I know they're all happy because they're all sitting there. So, and believe me, it's hard to have a steady hand take the photo and then act like a crazy wild animal to get their attention. Because that's another aspect. You got to balance them looking at the freaking camera. But yeah, so that's it right there. I think we have a few more of the 3. This one's also a good one because that one's a little bit earlier. But getting them all to sit and look, that's nice. I appreciate that one a lot.
And they're all giving you a nice smile in this one, too.
They are. They're giving me a nice little smile. Vegas, actually. So Vegas is probably the biggest tongue out of any of the dogs. There was one time when my uncle came to visit, and Vegas was panting crazy. His tongue landed on his eye like a frog. It's the farthest out I've ever seen a Rottweiler tongue. Any dog tongue particularly. So, but they're a bunch of good boys. So, taking a look at that. Yep, there's me. There's where some of my base of operations are. Getting them on the bed, very difficult. I had a death grip on those dogs. But yeah, peep the Fallout poster in the background. You got my dogs. Getting them on the bed. Getting them on the bed's difficult because you got a geriatric one, and then you got a fat one. That's hard, but we got it. We did it. So I'm just very pleased that we were able to get that. And yeah, so as you know, bringing back to it, every middle-aged dog gets a little guy. All right. And T-Bone, as old as he is, was once a little guy. And his big guy, the guy who took care of T-Bone first, was Bam Bam. And that's Bam Bam right there. Bam Bam was my childhood dog. We got him when I was very, very little. And I grew up with him. And he was such a good boy. So that's him when he's a little bit older. And then there's going to be another one where he's a little bit He's a little bit chunkier because he was the original fat one. He was fatty. And he's there on the porch smiling. He's a good boy. His name is Bambino Bada Bing Chandler. So we had him when I was a kid, and when I was little, and we don't have much photos of him, and I'm sorry. Bam Bam's big guy. When Bam Bam was little, Bam Bam's big guy was named Maximilian, and that's Maximilian right there. There's me, there's a little baby. There's Max, and he's a good boy. He just because we only have one photo doesn't mean he's not as loved as the rest. All of them are loved equally, except we all have our favorites.
I think you had more photos. They just weren't.
They weren't good.
Great.
They weren't great, and also they were hidden in a spare room in a closet behind several boxes. So
yeah, I mean, 15-year-old printed out photos. They don't.
It's a little bit difficult.
They sometimes get lost, especially in a house as cluttered as y'all's is.
Oh yeah, it's a little cluttered, but we got Max. So far you've got Shadow, Vegas, T-Bone, Bam Bam, Max, and next up was Matt. When Max was a little guy, he had a big guy, and his big guy was Rowdy. So we've got a couple of photos of Rowdy and his guy, Buckus. So we've got Buckus right here. He's got a little cigarette in his mouth with the Oakland Athletics hat. Buckus was originally my uncle's, the same uncle who was there with the Vegas tongue eyeing of 20-something. And my uncle's first wife told him it's me or the dog, and he chose the woman. And then they divorced, and then she took a bunch of his crap, and that dog was still alive. So that should tell you, no. If you want to choose the woman, that's fine. I just know a dog won't leave you and take half your crap. So we got Buckus there, and then going on to the next photo, we've got the two of them. So we got Rowdy on the left and Buckus on the right. And Rowdy's a fat dog. Rowdy was fat. It's funny how most of my mom's dogs are the fat ones. But you got Buckus, and so Buckus was the first. He was the original.
And Buckus was a big dog. Buckus was so big that the chain that they had him wear, they had to get custom made because his neck was so big.
He was at his, and it doesn't look like it there, but standing on his hind legs, they put him about 6'4", 6'5". He was at his max weight. He was 160, 165, and there was a protest that was happening up in the mountains where my dad lived with Buckus, and because my uncle gave Buckus to my dad, all right, and there's a protest that was going right through where my dad lived in the apartment, and there was tale of a little ballooning. So my dad sat on his Cadillac, on the hood of his Cadillac, with his dog on a chain leash. And it was like hundreds of people. When the protests came in, they did a comical wide berth of my dad and the dog, and they didn't bother him. So, but Buckus was very smart. Buckus was a very smart dog. And then my dad met my mom, and then she wanted a Rottweiler. She couldn't handle it, but she got one anyways. And that was Rowdy. So Rowdy's the one on the left. So it goes Buckus, Rowdy, Max, Bam Bam, T-Bone, Vegas, Shadow. So I've gone forward to back to forward. There's another one. There's another good one of Buckus and Rowdy. And Rowdy had, I believe it was gum cancer. So that's why he had a little curl. But But yeah, so then you had Buckus on the right, Rowdy on the left. Let me see. Rowdy was the most soldier-like. Anything my dad said, he listened to. All the others had a mind of its own. All the other ones had an ADHD dog, but no, Rowdy wasn't about that. Rowdy did his own thing. Whatever my dad did, whatever my dad said, he did. Whatever it was. So he was the most obeying of them all. And so now we're gonna go to my uncle's dogs that he kept on to. So obviously Buckus was my uncle's, but he gave it up. He was smarter. He got new Rottweilers later, and he held on to those forever. And that's where you get Titus and Expo. So Titus is on the left, Expo's on the right. Titus was Expo's dad. And I remember going to play with them when I was a kid. We went to a beach house, I think. I remember them swimming somewhere. It gets foggy. I'm trying to remember. This was before kindergarten. I am straining. So, but yeah, those are my uncle's dogs, and that's how we got those. Just get all the more the merrier Rottweilers. Our family really loves our Rottweilers. We think we're awesome. We think they're a great breed. They're personally my favorite kind of dog. I think I aesthetically appreciate their. I think they're what a dog should look like. I can't stand to. I don't want to say I can't stand. I don't like little tiny yappy dogs. I love big dogs. They're big. They're meant to be big. They're from wolves. I aesthetically appreciate the black and brown, or tan and black, mahogany. I've heard. So, but yeah. So those are my uncle's dogs, and yeah. So all told, the whole group there, our line, I guess, dynasty. I guess it's not like we have a dynasty, but I mean we've had them for so long, might as well call it one. You got Buckus, then Rowdy, then Max, then Bam Bam, then T-Bone, then Vegas, then Shadow, and my uncles, Titus and Expos, and that completes the troop.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing all of that with us. These are some pretty awesome photos. My favorite, I think it has to be said, is Butt Kiss with the cigarette. That's just a badass photo. That's a beautiful photo.
He was a good dog. I think my dad had begun to try and get Buckus to open doors and open the fridge. He saw this commercial where a dog opened the fridge to get a beer. And I mean, dogs can't open fridges. You got a little rag that you can tie to it. But he talked about it. When he first got Buckus, he didn't have a TV. He was too poor to afford one. So all he did was just train Buckus all day, the whole time. So, just think about that. There's just plenty of tricks to teach a smart dog. And it's either, so far, according to my dad, I mean, my dad's seen all of them. I got no clue. But according to my dad, it's either Buckus or T-Bones that's the smartest. And he's obviously he's got his biases.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And we did want to end on this photo of Shadow because we thought this cute face is the last thing you should see. I absolutely love this photo. It's a great photo. It perfectly captures Shadow and the real-life person who plays as Shadow on the channel. So we thought we'd end on this one. But yeah, please send us your dogs, send us photos, send us really cool stories. They might be featured on the channel. And if you have a Rottweiler, they may even be a character on the channel. Link is in the pinned comment on this video. The pinned comment will be included in all future Power Rankings videos when we start doing our Dog of the Week segment during the season. But yeah, we're super duper excited for this, and we cannot wait to see what y'all have for us. And with all that being said, please be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. We would love to hear what you all have to say. And that is going to do it for us today. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please be sure to hit the like button. Please be sure to subscribe. And we will see you all in the next video.